Hi everybody, Jessie here from JessieBanks.com and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to make a card. Big ass, I'm making a card on the channel. This is the Simon Says stamp set. It's called Woodland Whimsy. This one came in the November kit. You can pick it up individually in the store. I will have links to everything in the description box below as always. So you get a bear, a bunny, a deer, a hedgehog, and a bunch of little filigree botanical little doodles, some birch trees, and then you get a banner and a bunch of sentiments. Love you, welcome baby, thinking of you, birthday wishes, sending you love, you're one of a kind, so incredibly thankful for you, love you, and hello. So you get that stamp set, so we're going to use that. I'm going to use B watercolor paper. I've had this forever. I've used it a few times. I've never been a big fan, but people rave about it, so we're going to give it another chance. So I pulled out a piece of that. I have a little stencil here to make the circle that we're going to color that all in. I picked this one up at Michael's. You can use compasses and things like that. I just like having the stencil. It makes my life a lot simpler. And then I was going to use the watercolors that came in the kit. Okay, these watercolors are fine, question mark. They're not, these watercolors, I'm a snob, okay? I paint a lot. That's terrible to say. But anyway, I paint a lot with my Daniel Smith and my Schminke and my Stone Ground and my Rachel Beth designs. I even use Prima watercolors. I have the little fan kit that I play with. I have all sorts of paint. I have a ridiculous amount of paints. If you guys are interested in seeing how big my collection's grown, let me know. I can do a collection video. But anyway, so I thought I'll use these. I'll do the whole card with the kit. These will be fine. So I took them and I swatched them in my sketchbook, and this is what happened. So when you lay them on thick in order to get like good color saturation and good vibrancy out of the paints, they chip off because they're chalky, right? Like they transfer onto my finger, chalky. So if you're going, can you see that? Yeah, you can. So if you're going to use them in light washes, like what chips away, they're fine. If you're going to go for any more like darker saturation, heavier pigment, real vibrancy, I wouldn't use these. I'm probably going to let my nieces and nephews play with them. If you don't have any watercolors and you need something to play with, they'll work. They're fine. I'm going to use something different. I probably shouldn't put this in the video, but I'm probably going to. So what I'm going to use instead is this palette. Now this is my revamped custom watercolor palette. So this is a palette I put together. There is an entire video on it. This is the second palette that I have put together for myself, and I will link that up in the eye above if you guys want to go look at me putting this together and my thought process behind it. So this is the watercolor palette we're going to use, and I am going to jump into a voiceover and let's get into this card. Alright, so I'm starting off by marking the middle of my paper vertically, and then I'm going to mark it slightly above the middle horizontally in order to use the circle, I'm dropping things, the circle stencil that I have there that I picked up at Michael's. Look, my head's in the way. There's going to be a little bit of that probably in this video because I haven't filmed a card video in a hot minute. So I'm not used to working straight over my head like that. So I'm starting off with my Versamark Onyx Black ink and the little banner. We're going to stamp that. That one I knew my head was in the way. Stamp that right on top. And then I have my little deer here, and I'm going to stamp that using the antique linen so we can paint him up with a little bit of a no lines coloring style. Now I'm going to take a couple of the little doodles here. The real nice part is they have one that faces one direction and one that faces the other, so you can balance them both ways. I really need to get used to keeping my head out of the way, so that you can balance them in both directions and they're the same. Then there's this little leaf, and then there's one that kind of faces the other direction, so I'm going to use that one as well. And that is the basis of our card, aside from the thinking of you. So I pulled out the happy birthday to start, and then I was like, nope, that's not the one I wanted. So this is the thinking of you. It fits perfectly inside of that banner. It's even curved the exact same way. I mean, they did that on purpose. So what I have here is my watercolor palette, and I am mixing different colors together. So I'm starting with a little bit of dark shading. What I did was took my sepia and my quinacridone gold and a little bit of Naples yellow to mix this first color, and we're just going to slowly blend them out with some clean water afterwards. And I'm just slowly working on layers, so I'm using the same color in different areas. Eventually we're going to make it a little more orange to make the deer a little more fawn-like, because it is a fawn, not a full-grown deer. You can tell by the spots. And we're slowly blending that out into the white of the paper. And it's just going to layer up nicely, letting it dry in between coats of paint. So here I added a little bit more yellow to that same mixture. And I'm just slowly adding colors to it and taking them to a little bit of a different place in order to achieve kind of what I'm after. I got to this point and decided he was a little too brown and he needed to be a little bit more orange. So I finished blending this one out. And then we'll go in and add a little bit more of an orangey color, I do believe. And it's just lots of layers and back and forth until I get what I want to achieve here. And I'm always starting in the darkest points and then darkest points and then blending it out into the lighter part of the paper just to have a smoother gradient between all of my colors. Here we're getting a little more orangey. You can see how that color is warming up. I ended up adding a little bit of Aussie gold to it, Aussie red gold to it as well. I don't have an orange in my palette. Like I said, that's linked in the start of the video if you want to see exactly what colors are in this palette that I'm using to make this. Then we're taking that sepia and I mixed a little bit of graphite gray with it to start doing the white parts of the body, and then I needed to warm that up as well. So it's just lots of layers and taking things slowly, starting where the darkest is and blending it out. We're going to carry on with that. So I hope everybody's all ready for Christmas. By the time you guys are seeing this, it's going to be almost Christmas. I'm filming it on the 15th of December, so it's almost Christmas already. So I hope everybody's all ready for the holidays. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you a happy December, a happy whatever it is you choose to celebrate and you believe in or want to celebrate. That is awesome. Let's all just be good people. Believe whatever you want. That's kind of my outlook on things. Anyway, so we're just going to continue to blend that out and working in lots of layers. I love this stamp set. I hope they come out with more in a very similar storybook style to this. It would be nice to see some other critters in there. A moose would be cool. I'd love to see like a beaver, a raccoon, a badger, etc., etc. I like doing all the little animals in a storybook whimsy type fashion like I'm painting it here. I really like doing the no lines with the dark black stamped lines with the sentiment and the little doodles around the banner. It just kind of makes me happy. So I'm going to fill in all of our little leaves with a little bit of sap green. And then to that sap green, I'm going to mix, I don't remember what color I put in there. I think it was sepia. Sepia or quinacridone gold or both. Just to kind of make it a little bit more of a dirty tone. It was quinacridone coral. That's what color it was. Opposites. I know these things. See, I remember eventually. Anyway, a little bit of quinacridone coral to it when I do the next layer of green, just to make it a little bit more of a dirty, muddier green than what it is now. Again, going back and adding some more shadows and things into the brown color of the deer. I just decided he needed a little bit more depth to make me happy, so we're adding that in. This one was super fun to paint, you guys. It took me about 30 minutes from start to finish. I think I had 34 minutes of footage with everything. And I was so happy with the way this one came out. It's soft and simple, and I just think it turned out very, very pretty. So that's that sap green mixed with the quinacridone coral. Then I'm going to take some shell pink to fill in the little berries in our botanical doodle. So cute. This one makes me so happy. So like I said, I hope everybody's all ready. My son got a snowboard on Black Friday, and I let him come in to pick it out because we had to measure him for size-wise and stuff. So he's been driving me crazy to go snowboarding, and it's been too cold to be outside for any length of time. So next weekend's supposed to be nice. We're going snowboarding. I hope everybody else has something fun planned for the weekend before Christmas. Even if it's just baking and hanging out at home, that's what I'd rather be doing. Now we're going to add a little bit of watered down sap green for the ground, and then I mix the Naples yellow and phthalo turquoise to create a very, very soft blue sky color here. I added a ton of water to it. It's almost impossible to see in the video. You can see it in person. This is why I did the circle. I didn't paint it all the way out to the circle, but I kind of washed it around him in that general shape so you can tell that there's a circle in behind there. Once I erased all the lines, I was really happy with the way this one came out. I did have a bit of an oops, and there is a splotch of like, it's white gouache, but it had a little bit of brown paint mixed into it, and you can see it if you're looking for it, but it doesn't bother me. These are handmade, and I'm quite happy with it. Our banner I painted in with Hematite Violet Genuine. I love how this color granulates. The hematite paints, there's 3 different ones. I love all 3 of them. They're so fun. I love all the texture you get in the watercolor with it. So add that shading in. And then we're coming to the end of it, you guys. This one was super quick to put together. Like I said, about 30 minutes. I'm going to take my white gouache and add in all of the little spots on our fawn's bum here. And then we're going to cut this one down to 4 by 5 1/4 and add it onto a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch top folding note card. I do re-outline all of the black stamped lines just to make sure they were super bright. Erasing our circle completely. Forgot to paint in his little feet, so I'm painting in his little hooves and then adding him onto his card, and that's it, guys. So like I said, all the links will be in the description box below. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe if you'd see some more, or if you'd like to see some more, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye for now.